Few albums in metal history have had the impact of Heartwork by Carcass. Released in 1993, this album didn't just redefine Carcass's sound, it reshaped death metal as a whole, setting the stage for the emergence of melodic death metal. It marked a turning point where brutality met precision, where melody merged with aggression, and where technicality served the music rather than overshadowing it. A key factor in Heartwork's success is its production, handled by Colin Richardson. Richardson, who would later work with bands like Machine Head, Napalm Death, and Fear Factory, was instrumental in shaping the album's pristine yet crushing sound. Unlike the murky, chaotic mixes of Carcass's earlier grindcore records, Heartwork has a clarity that allows every instrument to breathe. The guitars are thick yet articulate. The drums hit with machine-like precision, and Jeff Walker's venomous vocals are sharp without ever being buried in the mix. The balance in the production was crucial. Death metal in the early 90s often leaned towards raw, unpolished recordings, but Richardson and Carcass took a different approach. The result is an album that is surgically precise, but still feels alive. Every note, every riff, every drum hit lands with maximum impact. One of Heartwork's defining elements is its guitar work. The dual guitar attack of Bill Steer and Michael Amott is nothing short of masterful. While Steer had already established himself as a riff machine on earlier Carcass albums, Amott, who had joined the band in 1990, brought a new melodic sensibility that pushed Heartwork into uncharted territory. The riffs throughout this album are a perfect blend of groove, aggression, and melody. Take the opening track, Buried Dreams. It kicks off with a haunting, descending riff that immediately sets the tone. It's sinister, yet hook-laden, a theme that continues throughout the album. It's instantly memorable and hits every time. The title track Heartwork is perhaps the best example of the album's redefined approach. Its main riff is instantly memorable, a galloping, palm-muted assault that's both crushing and catchy. The harmonized leads that follow are a signature of Steer and Amott's chemistry, sophisticated yet still undeniably heavy. The song's solo section is particularly noteworthy. Amott's lead work is fluid, emotive, and soaring, serving as a precursor to the melodic style he would later perfect in Arch Enemy. Songs like Carnal Forge and This Mortal Coil bring relentless speed and intensity, with intricate picking patterns and harmonized leads that feel almost classical in their composition. Some of the fastest and most intricate tracks blending precise riffing with melodic flourishes. Meanwhile, tracks like No Love Lost show Carcass's ability to slow things down without losing heaviness. The chugging, mid-tempo riffing here is reminiscent of groove metal, proving that Carcass weren't afraid to experiment with pacing and dynamics. What truly sets the album Heartwork apart is the way it bridges the gap between death metal's raw ferocity and traditional heavy metal's structured, riff-driven approach. The album trades the chaotic, hyper-speed grind of early Carcass for a more controlled, refined style that still retains all the aggression. The drum work, courtesy of Ken Owen, is tight and machine-like, yet never mechanical. His ability to shift between lightning-fast, double bass, off-kilter rhythms, and powerful groove sections keeps the album from ever feeling one-dimensional. Jeff Walker's vocals are another highlight. Unlike the guttural growls typical in death metal at the time, his snarling delivery sits somewhere between a harsh scream and a barked, punk-style shout. This gives the album a more distinctive, aggressive edge without sacrificing clarity. Vocally, I think of the track Albach Mach Flesh. This song brings back some of the band's grindcore roots while still embracing the polished, melodic edge of Heartwork. It's one of the most intense tracks on the album, featuring blistering speed, unpredictable riff changes, and an aggressive vocal performance from Jeff Walker. The interplay between chugging rhythms and soaring harmonies makes it a standout. Walker's vocals work great on the album, and his bass playing, while not overly flashy, provides a rock-solid foundation for the intricate guitar work. Lyrically, Heartwork also marked a shift for Carcass. While their earlier records were infamous for their grotesque, medical-themed lyrics, this album takes a more abstract, almost philosophical approach. Songs like Heartwork and Embodiment explore themes of self-determination, creativity, and existence, making the album feel more sophisticated and thought-provoking. Heartwork was ahead of its time. While some die-hard death metal fans initially resisted its more structured, melodic elements, the album's influence became undeniable. It laid the groundwork for the entire melodic death metal movement, directly influencing bands like At the Gates, In Flames, and Arch Enemy. Even outside of melodeath, its impact can be heard in all forms of modern metal, especially its riffs inspiring countless metalcore guitarists. 3 decades later, Heartwork remains a benchmark for metal songwriting and production. It's an album that took the raw energy of death metal and shaped it into something more refined without ever losing its edge. If you've never heard Heartwork, now is the time to experience this landmark album. For me personally, growing up in my teens and hearing Heartwork at an influential time in my life was very powerful to me. It sprung open so many other bands and style of music that I continue to find and enjoy today. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Carcass is one of the greatest death metal bands of all time. Heartwork is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece.